Hello and welcome to Nationwide. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. We'll begin with judicial matters, and Justice Kudirat Kekereekun is now the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, and President Bola Tinubu, who returned to the country in the early hours of this Friday, administered the oath of office on her at the council chamber of the State House. The 66-year-old, who emerges the second female CJN, succeeds Olukayode Ariwola, who retired from the position yesterday, Thursday, after 2 years.
Let me also reassure you that the judiciary under this administration will continue to receive prompt and adequate attention in recognizing its status as a driver of social order, rule of law, peace, security, and economic development. Undoubtedly, the position of the Chief Justice of Nigeria comes with enormous responsibilities. As the head of all judicial institutions in the country, it is a position of considerable influence that demands the temperance and sobriety. The occupant of the office must exude the highest level of integrity in the discharge of duties. This is more so because of the finality of the Supreme Court judgment. I therefore urge your Lordship to be faithful and loyal to the Constitution when discharging your duty as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Indeed, very excited. We're very, very excited. First, because we have not kept any vacuum, in our democracy, and that's the beauty of it. Yesterday we had a former CJN step down, haven't attained, the statutory age, and within 24 hours, we've seen the beauty of our democracy. Mr. President himself had to stop his own trip to ensure that, governance and democracy does not stop.
I believe that there will be cooperation because we all want to see a better judiciary. A better judiciary is for the benefit of the entire nation. Whatever the shortcomings that we see today, we're all members of the society. So if we want to see improvement, let the improvement start with each and every one of us and our approach to justice. Let us all also have faith in the system, and then we'll also be more particular about the process of appointment. I know it gives a lot of concern, discipline on the bench, at the bar as well. All these things are aspects that we will look into. And I believe that by the grace of God, at the end of my tenure, we will have a judiciary we can all be proud of.
The National Judicial Council had recommended the appointments of Justice Kekereekun, the next most senior justice of the Apex Court, as the next CJN. She was elevated to the Supreme Court of Nigeria as the fifth female justice of the court and was sworn in July 2013. Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has urged Justice Kudirat Kekereekun to uphold the principle of fairness and justice in undertaking her new assignment as Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. Congratulating the Acting CJN on the occasion of her swearing in by President Bola Tinubu, Speaker Abbas believes Justice Kekere has the pedigree to bring reforms that will enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of Nigeria's judicial system. He expressed the readiness of the 10th House of Representatives to work with the judiciary under Justice Kekere's leadership to deepen Nigeria's democracy while wishing the acting CJN a successful tenure. President Bola Tinubu has reiterated federal government's commitment to containing crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism to improve the nation's crude oil production. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the president, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this at the graduation of Course 32 at the National Defense College.
Grand Commander of the Order.
This symbolic ceremony signifies the graduation and confirmation of fellowship of the National Defense College on these 11 officers, mostly from the Nigerian Armed Forces, paramilitary, strategic civilian agencies, and 19 others from allied countries. The event marks the end of 11-month course at the National Defense College, Abuja, the Nigerian apex military training institution. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, charged the graduates to develop applicable solutions to combat state and regional security challenges, stressing that the federal government is committed to further secure the nation.
We are also working tirelessly to curb the menace of crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta. I have also charged the defense headquarters and other security agencies with curbing the menace of crude oil theft as soon as possible. This will no doubt boost oil production and achieve our desired economic stability. We will continue proactively intervening in matters that benefit our citizens. Recently, we have made significant strides in addressing some of these challenges. We have implemented a new national minimum wage, which will benefit not only civilian workers, but also personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies.
The National Defense College has for the past 32 years championed the development of a research-based approach to addressing emerging threats.
The mission of this college is to develop future leaders sufficiently equipped with the requisite knowledge and analytical skills necessary to harness the instruments of national power in a dynamic defense and security environment.
For these 111 officers and civilian participants from strategic government agencies who are now fellows of the National Defense College, Abuja, the event is a transition to a higher level of command and control. From the National Defense College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Chairman, Federal Government's Palliatives Committee for Kano State, Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, has assured of equitable distribution of the 23,644 25-kilogram bags of rice allocated to the state for the needy. The committee, which has its membership drawn from the All Progressives Congress, the New Nigerian People's Party, the People's Democratic Party, Inter-Party Advisory Council, religious and traditional rulers, met at the National Assembly to finalize the modalities for the distribution of the commodity.
There's no, policy attached to it at all. So Mr. President is determined to make sure that everyone that needs help gets help anywhere. So it's a way of helping the people, those poor, the poor of the poor, the needy. So that's what that's the mandate given to all by Mr. President, that this committee should do that. Make sure that the items to be so distributed get to the people.
Senator Barau said beneficiaries from all the wards in the 44 local government areas of Kano State need to be identified through a valid means of identification, such as a national identity card, driver's license, voter's card, or international passport. The federal government has pledged to revamp ongoing water projects nationwide as part of its renewed commitment to providing clean and accessible water to all Nigerians. This announcement comes as the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, inspected water projects in Osun State. Femi Afariogun has details.
In continuation of his 3-day inspection tour of water projects in Southwest Region, Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, visited Elisha Water Dam, Kajola, in Atakumosa East local government area of Osun State. After inspection, they made his observations about the dam.
Coming to this particular area, I have noticed that the quantum of water that we have needed for treatment to be supplied to the inhabitants is not enough. So when I was asking questions, I was made to understand that there is a consultant on this particular project to look at this and make notes, make recommendations for the best options for us to have the enough of water, the quantity of water for us to supply to the treatment plant. 1,000 cubic meter per day, and it will cover Ilesha, it will cover Atakumosa and Oriade and Obokun. So by the time this project finishes, I believe it's going to be a very plus to the government.
The minister on the second day in Osun State also visited Ife Water Dam at Ogudu, where he also promised federal government intervention. Femi Afarigun, NTA News.
The House of Representatives commences investigation into the allocation and utilization of funds for school interventions. The House Committee on Public Accounts and that of Alternative Education are leading the investigation. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed reports.
Worried by the rate of out-of-school children and its consequences to national security, the House of Representatives resolves to investigate the financial plan and execution of programs meant for the vulnerable and out-of-school children for the purpose of prudent management of funds.
About 3-4 months ago, the responses a long way to show the stand of the Ministry as well as the Universal Basic Education on the issue under investigation. What we require is to have an internal interaction of this nature to have the formal submission taken.
The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Tanko Sununu, identified lack of an effective sustainability plan by state governments as part of major factor hindering the success of foreign intervention programs in Nigeria. He disclosed that allocation of funds for the alternative school program, better education service delivery for all, is yielding results despite challenges.
The outcome, the whole program in over 5 years, we succeeded in returning over 5 million out-of-school children back to school.
According to available statistics by UNESCO, more than 70% of out-of-school children in Nigeria are in the northern region of the country. On the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
On environmental matters, Nigeria is expected to submit its climate action plan, which is the first biennial transparency report to the United Nations framework on climate change by December this year. Charles Arthur reports that in order to beat the deadline, the National Council on Climate Change is engaging relevant actors from across the states, tasked with the responsibility of producing a document that is accurate and transparent.
One of Nigeria's commitment to the Paris Agreement is the reduction of greenhouse gases, which is responsible for global warming. The submission of the first and second biennial transparency report, as well as the fourth national communication to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, will prove to the United Nations and the world Nigeria's efforts in this regard. What this workshop, sponsored by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, is all about is to engage key players with the National Council on Climate Change Secretariat on how to acquire accurate and transparent data for the report, develop a framework for Nigeria's nationally determined contributions, NDCs, its carbon market and carbon credits. The good news is that Nigeria is making progress.
We're very much on course with regards to our BTR submission. Again, you can never overemphasize the need for credible quality data, and that's what we're asking for stakeholders.
If everything goes well, by God's sort of benediction, if we can say that, we can get Nigeria to submit its first report in December.
Part of this administration's drive has been to really show our commitment in driving climate change and climate action. important for us to be able to show that to the international community that we are certainly taking this seriously.
The Director General, National Council on Climate Change, Nkiruka Madwekwe, assured participants at the 3-day event that data generated will be deployed for the BTR reports.
In the meantime, the federal government has incorporated insurance into its national agricultural policy and programs. This initiative aims to mitigate agricultural risks and ensure food security. The development is particularly relevant as floods have damaged more than 16,000 hectares of farmland this year. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
Outbreaks of diseases and pests and other environmental challenges such as flood have been a bottleneck to the growth of agriculture in Nigeria. For instance, in 2023, pests ravaged tomato and ginger plantations in the country. This year, more than 16,000 hectares of farmland have been damaged by floods in 27 states. To address these challenges, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is introducing insurance.
As we begin this process of bringing insurance into the mainstream of our investment, I think farmers will begin to get sensitized.
The Nigeria Agricultural Insurance Corporation and key players are to develop a roadmap that will enable beneficiaries of the federal government agricultural growth scheme to have their farms insured.
For agricultural projects, production through the value chain to be sustained, it should be a critical factor that we must not neglect. Insurance is very important.
The issue of animal encroachment, actually before now, it was part of an insurance.
The African Development Bank is also supporting the government initiative under its $10 billion agricultural insurance window. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
We now head over to our Lagos Network Centre, where Adiola is standing by to give us stories from that zone. Hello, Adiola.
Nations around the world are striving to build sustainable and resilient cities that are inclusive and safe. In Nigeria, Lagos State is towing this path through its sustainability targets. Adejoke Odeka reports that the move will foster networking among communities, states, and national agencies for lasting impact.
Big cities the world over face many challenges, largely as a result of their complex nature, from waste management, unemployment, transportation, and healthcare to disaster risk, infrastructure, and other factors. Lagos, for example, with a fast-growing population, has its fair share of these issues, which are aggravated by effects of climate change. To step up its efforts to tackle them and better harness opportunities, the state is adopting an approach that will help to build a sustainable and resilient Lagos.
Building a resilient and sustainable Lagos serves as a call to action. It's going to be a roadmap guiding our efforts to forge a city that is prosperous, equitable, and environmentally sound.
Sustainability is about preservation, is about ensuring continuity. The link with safety is to ensure that as we live, we are protecting our most vital assets, which are people.
And we must champion that cause that would leave a better Lagos for us and for our children. We're very keen on industrial emissions, we're very keen on protecting Lagos, we're very keen on the stories and the policies around greenhouse gas emissions.
The Lagos State Office of Sustainable Development Goals is driving the sustainability vision with other relevant agencies. It will also create a platform for strategic discussions and planning on climate actions. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Drug smuggling and human trafficking are major maritime threats that could impede Nigeria's quest to fully harness the blue economy. But that. As a starting point to addressing the challenge, stakeholders are calling for a comprehensive strategy leveraging technological innovation to build capabilities in combating the menace. Michael Olaleye reports that streamlining processes on adjudication of drugs and trafficking matters will reduce the trend to the barest.
It is a known fact that 90% of world trade are carried out through the seas and oceans, with the ports serving as destination for cargoes. But rather pathetic is the recent trend targeting this vital economic hub for smuggling of drugs and trafficking of humans.
We aim to ensure that perpetrators of these crimes are apprehended and fully punished without subjecting the innocent to unnecessary difficulties that are counterproductive to the growth of the shipping industry. The crew implicated.
The worry for stakeholders is that since drug smuggling is legally classified as a criminal matter, ships are sometimes seized and innocent crew members arrested for a long period.
If there is compelling evidence that a certain crew member is involved, do let us know. Do let the ship owner know. Ship owners will cooperate and get that crew member off the ship. They will give them to the authorities to arrest, to do whatever they want to do with it. But the rest of the crew, the ship, should not be penalized.
While the forum believes it is the duty of the port authorities to provide security, it is conversant with the cumbersome nature of prosecuting offences of such magnitude.
Investigation is something that is very wide, and you have to be very, very careful because you are dealing with human beings, and you cannot just sentence somebody to life imprisonment.
It is essential that we therefore develop comprehensive strategies to address these evolving threats by leveraging technological innovations, enhancing our intelligence capabilities, and fostering collaboration among critical stakeholders.
The rising cases of stowaway is another trend which the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Person, NAFTI, believes will be addressed with more collaboration. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Those are reports from Lagos. Our next port of call will be Ibadan. That will be after this break. Just stay with us.
Welcome to Ibadan. The federal government is repositioning the country's gemstones industry to unlock its potentials, create employment opportunities for young Nigerians, while contributing to the economic diversification efforts. Minister of Mines and Steel Dele Alake made this known at the second edition of the Nigeria Gemstones and Jewelries Expo 2024 held in Ibadan. Kehinde Omolosho completes the report.
Nigeria is richly endowed with exquisite gemstones found in most states of the Federation. Exploring these natural resources comes with some challenges, which include insecurity, technical know-how, and poor infrastructure. These, the Minister of Mines and Steel, represented, says will soon be a thing of the past.
If you add value addition to it, you polish, you cut the gemstone, you make more money on it, and that is advocate the Honorable Minister have been given to all operators.
We make sure that we have the mining marshal to make sure they are the one to curb all this issue of illegal mining.
The institutions, the agencies that were, established to be able to, properly enforce the provisions of the law, for now, we are still seeing them as very weak.
The advocacy of panelists is a proper exploration of gemstones with value addition to improve on the nation's economy while creating jobs.
This diversification is really needed now. We have to move from that concentration of fuel, oil and gas to the extraction of more solid mineral resources.
It's now easier for us to help them attract investments into that sector of the economy.
We streamline regulations so that when somebody is pulling up, another one will not be pulling down.
The second Nigeria Gemstones and Jewelry Expo, which has as its theme maximizing Nigeria's rich and remarkable gem, strengthening the value chain from mining to market for economic advancement, featured exhibition of products made from gemstones. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
In a bid to make presidential compressed natural gas initiative reach nook and cranny in Nigeria, conversion kits have been brought to Ibadan, your state capital, to ensure that more vehicles are made CNG compliant. Lukman Hassan was at the launch and now reports.
The initiative PCNGI introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is aimed at reducing the cost of transportation by more than 75%. The Chief Executive Officer and the Program Director of the initiative explained that it is one of the testimonies of President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to bring down the cost of transportation across the country and cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal and promote a safer, cleaner and more reliable transportation system for Nigerians.
These kits are currently not manufactured in Nigeria, but Mr. President has also given us approval that we should go ahead and ensure that we engage with the manufacturing sector, because these kits need to be made in Nigeria.
The costs to people looks higher, but at the end of it all, they will enjoy it. If government can provide us these kits at a lower rate, then we'll be able to sell or give to people with installation costs as very low as something they can be able to achieve.
Whereby you use 4,000 naira worth of CNG to go from Lagos to Ibadan, whereby I will use about 20,000 to 15,000 for PMS for the same journey. You know, it's really encouraging.
The program provided kits to transport unions and signed memorandum of understanding with conversion partner centers in Ibadan. Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Dennis, is back to you.
Thank you very much, Kemi. Now let's talk security. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed, has condemned the killing of the head of Gatawa district in Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State, Alhaji Isa Bawa, and vows that the perpetrators will be fished out and punished. In a statement, the Director, Information and Public Relations, Ministry of Defense, Henshaw Ogubike, says the minister, who described the murder as senseless, stated that the brutal act will not be tolerated and security agencies will do everything in their power to ensure that those responsible are held accountable and brought to justice. He expressed his deepest condolences to the family of the late district head, the people of Gatawa and the entire Sokoto State government, while assuring that the security agencies will continue to work to ensure the safety and security of all Nigerians. Consequently, he has directed the Chief of Defense Staff to immediately launch a thorough investigation into the incident and ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army is deploying simulation technologies for capacity building and force multiplication to aid ongoing military operations across the country. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this is the focus of simulation exercise codenamed Exercise Kulumbugu at the Land Forces Simulation Center, Giri, Abuja.
This simulation center is mandated to develop the capacity of personnel from various battalions of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies for operational planning and decision-making through technological simulation software. The Chief of Army Staff in a message knows that the exercise is in line with the vision of the Nigerian Army to have a professional force ready to accomplish assigned missions within a joint environment.
This simulation exercise is meant to simulate a battalion in the field comprising an integrated force of military, police and other security agencies in the act of planning, operation preparation and conduct of military operations other than war and internal security operations using the MASA simulated wargaming for operational readiness and doctrine, SWOT for short.
The advantage of simulation training is that the Army spends less money on field exercises.
The simulation exercise, Kulumbugu, involves the use of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, MASA software, and other applications to boost personnel capacity to tackle the nation's dynamic security threats. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA.
And the federal government is poised for the emergence of a world-class police force that is inclusive, technology-driven, community-based and alive to its constitutional responsibilities. Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, made this known during the Renewed Hope Police Agenda Town Hall meeting held in Umuahia, Abia State. Ifeoma Ndu Okolie tells us more.
The citizens' town hall engagement with the team, community policing, building a safer Nigeria, aims at providing a platform for direct engagement between the Ministry of Police Affairs, citizens and other critical stakeholders across Nigeria.
At the heart of this Renewed Hope Police Agenda is implementation of the community policing strategy that is designed based on local peculiarities and considerations, with the full participation of members of various communities as stakeholder blocks to ensure inclusivity and full ownership of security and safety.
Earlier, while declaring the event open, Abia State Governor Alex Oti commended the ministry for change of approach to security situations through the engagement of critical stakeholders.
The battle against insecurity is one that we must win. My assurance is that no matter the resistance on our part, we shall never lose focus.
Other speakers at the event said the meeting will go a long way to foster a transparent dialogue as well as share insights on ongoing police reforms.
You need to help the security agencies that have been posted around to be able to give them signs of the areas that are more vulnerable or the people that they should avoid, because we know ourselves.
But community policing is basically about partnership, about identifying the needs, the policing needs, or the security needs of the society.
The minister and her team, on arrival, took a tour of some of the facilities in the police formation. In Umuahia, Ifeoma Ndu Okolie, NTA.
Elsewhere, the Niger Delta Ex-Agitators Forum has urged those calling for the impeachment of the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, to have a rethink. The group, in a press conference held in Port Harcourt, condemned the call, saying it is inimical to the growth and development of the country, and commended President Bola Tinubu for his efforts at uniting the nation. Jenny Bassi has details.
The Niger Delta Ex-Agitators Forum, in its commitment to defending the unity, integrity and prosperity of Nigeria at this briefing, addressed issues affecting the southern region. They identified the security challenges and other pressing issues in the country faced by the immediate past administration, which did not truncate the government, but got the support of Nigerians. They called for support for leaders and condemned trending reports, particularly on social media, calling for the impeachment of the Senate President, stressing that the unity and peace in the country should be paramount.
The recent call for the impeachment of His Excellency, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the 10th Senate, is yet another example of this troubling trend, having survived several threats of impeachment within his first year in the office.
The Senate President has the right, the sole prerogative, the sole right to be on that seat.
The forum called for more support for Southern leadership, which the country yearned for, as evident in the 2023 general elections, and appealed for the establishment of South-South Development Commission.
There is need for a South-South Development Commission, since they have established the Southwest, the Southeast.
And we are here to reaffirm our support for the Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidency.
They were unanimous that the formation of Southern Nigeria movement will foster economic and regional interest. In Port Harcourt, Jenny Bassi, NTA News.
In other news, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has launched an economic empowerment program for 1,000 women petty traders in Kogi State. The program, which extends to all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, aims to support small businesses and improve family incomes. The event was officially flagged off by Hajia Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, wife of the Speaker House of Representatives, on behalf of the First Lady. Here is Ajibola Christopher's report.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu noted that the government is aware of the challenges faced by small and medium enterprises, especially petty traders who play a key role in local economies. Through the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program, 1,000 women in Kogi State will receive 50,000 naira each to grow their businesses.
To the 1,000 women petty traders who are the beneficiary of this program, I say you are the heart of our local economies, the foundation of our economies and the unsung heroes of our nation. You have shown incredible resilience in overcoming countless challenges to build your businesses. Today, we celebrate your hard work and determination. Let us all continue to work together to build a Nigeria where every woman has the opportunity to succeed, where every small business can grow and contribute to our nation's prosperity.
The wife of the Kogi State Governor, Sefinat Usman Ododo, thanked Senator Tinubu for the initiative, stating that it will help women in Kogi State improve their businesses and work towards reducing poverty.
To all the women who benefit getting our mother economics, I urge you all to put the grant onto the best use.
I am particularly elated by the fact that our mother, the First Lady of our dear nation, is helping me and all of us to fulfill our campaign promises to the wonderful women of our dear state. Our administration in the state is unbending in our commitment to women empowerment and inclusion.
The program will distribute 1,850 million naira to 37 women traders across Nigeria.
And in reaffirmation of her renewed hope initiative of enhancing the lives of women, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has empowered 1,000 women across Ogun State with a 50,000 naira grant each.
Collecting this, it goes a long way for me and my...
For Zainab Lamidi, a widow and petty trader from Ikenne local government area of Ogun State, the 50,000 naira grant was a lifeline. After losing her husband 5 years ago, Zainab's existence had been a daily struggle to provide for her 3 young children. But the grant, courtesy of the Renewed Hope Initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, brought a glimmer of hope to her situation. The First Lady, represented by the wife of Ogun State Governor Bamidele Abiodun, highlighted the importance of the Renewed Hope Initiative in transforming the lives of Nigerian families.
Provided today is to assist our women petty traders in overcoming some of their business challenges.
While also presenting the women with additional funds for transportation, she urged them to use the resources judiciously.
Let us all continue to work together to build a Nigeria where every woman has the opportunity to succeed.
Other beneficiaries erupted into joyful choruses, expressing their heartfelt gratitude to the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for the Renewed Hope Initiative and compassionate gesture towards them. In Abeokuta, Oyinkansola Ojelade, NTA News.
Well, governments will not compromise the empowerment of young Nigerians for national and economic development. Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, stated this at a youth dialogue that seeks to promote patriotism, enhance entrepreneurship capacity, and foster synergy. While applauding government's empowerment initiatives and programs like the Students' Loan Scheme, the Youth Investment Fund for Self-Employment Opportunities, and upcoming Nigerian Youth Academy for access to resources and training, the minister urges youth to be organized and develop strategies to move the country forward.
Assistance, engagement, support for the young entrepreneurs, trainings for jobs, etc. The ministry will continue to do its best to deliver opportunities, to hunt for opportunities for the youth of this country. Now, it is time for us to come together, cooperate, put ourselves together and make sure that we move Nigeria forward, because nobody will come and do it for us.
We as special advisors and senior special assistants to governors in Nigeria must begin to take the leadership in our hands. Nigeria is not a lawless state. So we also know that the local government has a lot to do. But these 774 representatives from each of the local governments are expected at the end of the program to be the good governance ambassador in their respective local government, whereby various activities of the government can trickle down to the local government.
The initiative, led by the Forum of Special Advisors and Senior Special Assistants to Governors, is a collaborative effort to empower young people and shape Nigeria's future. Let's now head over to our Enugu Network Center, where Comfort is standing by. Hello, Comfort, it's over to you.
Enugu Network Center. About 1,000 petty traders drawn from the 17 local government areas of the state are beneficiaries of the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program with a grant of 50,000 naira each. The initiative, championed by the President's wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is aimed at improving the living standards of Nigerians, particularly women. The report.
Acknowledging the immense role petty trading plays in the growth of the local economy, the First Lady of Nigeria, Remi Tinubu, said the gesture by the federal government signifies commitment to improving the lives of women by expanding their businesses and helping them thrive in their choice of trade.
Today, through the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program, we are providing 1,000 pre-selected women petty traders per state with a grant of 50,000 naira. This grant is a financial boost, an opportunity to expand your businesses, improve your livelihood, and by extension, contribute to our state's economic development.
The event featured lectures on the need for women to take care of their health and adopt proper hygiene. They were also advised to desist from open defecation in their surroundings and marketplaces to avoid cholera and other health-related diseases.
When people come in contact with you in the marketplace, have positive energy, especially with your customers. Relate with them in a way that they would want to come back tomorrow.
The special advisor to the governor on health, Yomi Jaye, took time to demonstrate and train the women on necessary tips during emergency. The empowerment program was conducted simultaneously in the 36 states of the Federation, with a total amount of 1,850 million naira disbursed to 37,000 petty traders. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
The Enugu State government has demolished some properties used by kidnappers for detaining victims in the outskirts of the state capital. Chika Ugu reports that the state government warned property owners to properly investigate potential tenants before leasing their lands and houses to abate crime.
Following months of discreet investigation on activities of kidnappers, security operatives stormed 2 hideouts in remote areas of the state where they made startling discoveries and rescued some victims.
Thank the good citizens of Enugu State for all their support. However, I enjoin them to continue to be law-abiding, vigilant, and support us with the credible and actionable information as we remain absolute to deal ruthlessly with criminal elements in the state.
This revelation led to the state government revoking its Section 315 of the Criminal Code by demolishing an uncompleted building with an on-the-ground tunnel at Umpubo layout in Emene and a large farm housing a poultry, piggery, and plantain plantation at Obeke Nike. Also destroyed were shrines, charms, and Indian hemp farms, while arms and ammunition were recovered.
That sends a warning to everybody
monitor what goes on in your property, or don't build. We invoke the legal principle of vicarious liability. Whatever happens in your property, you must give account for it.
The ECTDA chairman stated that government will take over the property and put them to good use, noting that the demolition is an ongoing process as all the structures have already been marked. In Enugu, Chika Ugwu, NTA News.
That's a package from here. Dennis is back to you for more reports on Nationwide.
But let's now take another commercial break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Nigerian Television Authority says its doors are open to partnerships with relevant agencies that provide content for the development of the television industry in Nigeria. This was part of discussions when the management hosted the Film and Video Producers, Marketers and Distribution Association of Nigeria. The Director General of the NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by the Executive Director Programs, Lawal Lalu, commended the association for contributing quality content towards the development of television and assures them of NTA's commitment to promoting national unity through its content and wider reach.
The film industry alone can employ a lot of our youth in this country so that we can reduce or even not eradicate the unemployment problem we are facing in the country. So I want to give you the assurance that NTA will partner with you and we will continue to do so.
President of the association, Matthew Abutu, is convinced that partnership with the NTA will further propel progress made in the development of the film industry and other related professions.
And make students even self-sufficient right in the school. So we are really here to rub minds with the NTA to see how possible we can partner.
The collaboration between the two organizations is expected to expand viewership of film and videos in Nigeria. And that concludes Nationwide. Many thanks for watching. On behalf of the production crew, I am Dennis at Digunloy. Have a good evening.